This is potentially one of the top, if not the top, section of this toolkit. And I really want you to take to heart what we're going to cover here. So I call this the 3-2-1 networking tool. And the way I want you to think about this is pretty much every day, from now until you hang up your spurs and tell the world, I am fully retired, I want you doing this exercise. This is something we talk about all the time in the membership community, and I cannot stress its importance enough. So here's what it covers. First, downloading all of your connections from LinkedIn, right? Your first degree connections out of LinkedIn. Now you may say, well, I could just engage with people in there. Nope, that's not the exercise. LinkedIn is the LinkedIn inbox, and the messaging feature is a dumpster fire. It is so hard to keep track of, especially if you have a significant volume of conversations and so forth. So in order to keep it straight, and in order to create accountability, in this case, purely for yourself, but in our group sessions and so forth, we actually hold one another accountable. This is the exercise that I want you to do. First, you're going to go to LinkedIn and you're going to export all of your connections, right? So whether you have 500, 1,000, 5,000, doesn't make any difference. Export them all. There are instructions on this page that will tell you how to go about doing that, including a video to show you how to do that. You are going to then look in your downloads folder where you will find a CSV file. CSV simply stands for comma separated values. If you already knew that, I apologize. I wasn't trying to insult you, but lots of people don't know what a CSV file is. And so when you open it, if you have Microsoft Excel or you have, God help you, Apple numbers, right? It's going to open up and it's just going to look like a clump of data. Okay? Save it as an Excel, or if you're a Google Sheets person, import it into Google Sheets and then straighten it all out. One public service announcement for those of you who use Excel: when you open it, if you're an Excel user, when you open the CSV, it will technically open up using Excel, but you must file save as in order to turn it into a savable asset. Because if you do not, you will spend 10 minutes formatting the thing, be happy with it, and then when you close it and go to reopen it next time, it will have reverted back to the clump of data. So file save as, the same is not true in Google Sheets, which auto saves as you go. But now you will have a spreadsheet of all of your contacts in LinkedIn. And despite the fact that they are first degree connections, you and I both know that first degree connections can mean a lot of things in LinkedIn. So let me give you an example of that. There are what I call the ones. And those are the first degree connections whose phone numbers you probably have, who you could send a text message to. And even if you didn't have their phone number, if you sent them a LinkedIn message, they'd respond with, oh, hey, Mike, what's going on? Right? That familiar. You could call them, you could email them, you could LinkedIn message them, but you would get a response almost automatically. They probably know what's going on with you in your career. They sure know what you do for a living and so forth. And they have the highest probability of being willing to help, but also the highest probability of being a default to help, meaning they probably know what's going on with you. So if you've lost your role, they probably know that, right? And they probably have their ear to the ground looking out for opportunities for you or what have you. Okay? Those are the ones. The twos are, I know how I'm connected to you, right? We used to work together. We may not have spoken in quite a while, but we used to work together. I know maybe where you work now. I know you're married with kids. I don't remember quite how old they are. I probably know where you live, but that might be the extent of it. So familiar enough that they're probably not in tune with exactly what's going on with you and so forth, but you could catch up with them reasonably quickly. And then there's the threes. The threes are the people you are first degree connections to, and you may sit there and think, I don't remember this person, or I'm not totally sure how we're connected, or, oh yeah, I think we met at that conference in Sacramento, or was it the one in Arizona? I don't know. These people don't know what's going on with you, may or may not remember you, certainly don't think about you on a regular, if at all, basis. And the reason that these people are so important is because they are the greatest source of opportunity for you. Why is that? Because they are warm introductions. You are connected to them already, but you're not on their mind. They're not thinking about you, and they probably don't even know what's going on with you right now. So now that you have downloaded all this content, you are going to one by one look at all these people and either give them a 1, super familiar, 2, moderately familiar, or 3, connected but unfamiliar. And then you're going to sort the entire sheet in descending order so that the 3s show up first. And then the exercise is that every day you're going to pick off a few of those 3s until eventually you get to the 2s, until eventually you get to the 1s. And you're going to message, and you're just going to strike up conversation. Now, with the 3s, you might say, how do I strike up a conversation with someone I can't even remember how we're connected? Well, I give you suggestions for that in these exercises and specifically on this page, because it is a bit of an icebreaker. But boy, oh boy, those 3s can be super valuable to you because, like people in sales always say, a warm introduction is so much easier than a cold introduction. Well, the fact that you are connected as first degree connections is a warm introduction. So start there because they are not thinking about you. You are not on their minds, but it is entirely possible that because you've crossed paths with them in the past, that they'd be willing to connect. And you know what? There are going to be some of them who are like, wait, what do you want? How are we connected? In that case, just disconnect from them on LinkedIn, right? Just remove them as a first degree connection. They will never know that you did it. And they're obviously not particularly interested in the conversation if their first reaction is, what do you want from me? But if you keep doing this exercise from 3s to 2s to 1s and then back, and you keep conversations going so that you are always talking to 10 to 15 people every single week, you are creating a rainy day fund for yourself because you will have a network that has filled with vitality. And when you need something, people will be there for you. And my ask of you along the way is to make sure you're there for them, right? Because if you can add value and pay it forward to someone else, that is worth its weight in gold because, frankly, I'm a believer in karma. So just do the right thing for others. They will do the right thing for you. But you don't ever stop this until you are ready to tell the world, I'm done working. I no longer need any revenue. Okay? Enjoy the tool. I hope it's of great use to you. I promise you the practice will be worth it. You will see.